What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's world title fight at 126 pounds in Liverpool, England, between the world champion Nick Ball and the challenger Brandon Figueroa.
That's better work from low. That's where he's gone. Oh! Just as you say, Richie.
Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. We recently launched our brand new Johnny Says Boxing VIP Patreon. You will gain access to our growing, world famous Johnny Says Boxing VIP Discord. We recently broke 350 VIPs just this past weekend. We're more than a betting boxing community. We have all pro sports in there: MMA, American football, tennis, hockey. We're gonna be launching baseball soon for all the Aussies out there. In the coming months, we're gonna be launching the NRL channel. We're gonna be launching the AFL channel. To find out more, click the link that's pinned in the comment section below. Guys, the weeks just keep rolling into each other. Boxing is on a roll. Last weekend was huge for the channel. We picked off another underdog in getting the Josh Kelly pick accurate. We broke it down and we knew that Kelly would go in there and outbox Murtazaev. Coming into this week, way less action, but we still have fight cards from all around the world to choose from. Canada starts us off first. Then there's a card in Mexico. And today's video, we're gonna be in the UK. We're gonna be featuring the world title fight between Nick Ball and Brandon Figueroa. We're gonna talk a little bit about both fighters' careers, talk about how they go about their business, and stay tuned to the end of the video, because like always, that's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. If you're a fan of the channel, you would know over the last few years that I have a no bet list. And on this no bet list is the last name Figueroa. It all started with Omar, Brandon's brother, when he fought Abel Ramos, and then that carried into Figueroa, Brandon, his second fight with Stephen Fulton. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm no longer betting on anyone with the last name Figueroa. And in this video and this weekend, I will break my own personal promise, because obviously I have action on this fight. The last time we saw Brandon Figueroa, it was a rebounding performance over Joed in a close fight. He won a decision. Before that, we saw him fight in a rematch against Stephen Fulton, and he didn't look that good. And if you take the second Stephen Fulton performance, you would think that Brandon Figueroa was washed. You'll hear all these YouTube content creators using really negative adjectives to describe Figueroa. He's disinterested, he's done, he's shot, he's chinny, all these things. Well, the one thing you're not gonna hear on this channel is me talking trash about a fighter. That's not what I'm going to say. He's only 29 years old. He's been through a lot. He's fought great competition. He's a former world champion. How could you forget in 2021 when he knocked out the formerly undefeated Luis Nery, probably his best win? They talk about styles make fights, and in my head when I'm breaking tape down, maybe Stephen Fulton is just a bad matchup for Brandon Figueroa. We do know that Joed was his first fight since he left his father, and he linked up coach Manny Robles, and I'm really excited to see his second fight with Manny and see the adjustments and if they're able to add any layers onto an already offensive arsenal. And Brandon Figueroa, we know with Fig, he's going to be on his front foot. He's a slugger, fan-friendly style. He's long for the division. He could punch. He wants to fight you in the wheelhouse. In his opponent, the undefeated world champion Nick Ball, this is exactly how the 5'2" undefeated fighter fights. He crosses his feet. He uses his athleticism. He throws punches at odd angles. At 5'2", every punch is going to come from an odd angle when you're fighting a guy who's 5'7", 5'8", 5'9". Nick Ball is going to weaponize his cardio. He's going to weaponize his aggression. He wants to get you on the inside. He has volume for days. He has conditioning for days. And he wants to wear you down and stress you out. The last time we saw Nick Ball, he was fighting Sam Goodman in Aussie. Sam Goodman was a guy who was coming up from 22 to 26. Sam Goodman was supposed to be fighting Noe anyway, so you already know the class that Sam Goodman has. And he fights Nick Ball at 26, and everybody was saying that Nick Ball was going to be too strong, too powerful. He was going to stop Goodman. And Goodman surprised a lot of people with his physicality in that fight. He didn't run, He fought Nick Ball in the wheelhouse, was giving as much as he was getting, and I thought the fight was a lot closer than a lot of people expected it to be. One of the scorecards even had it 115 to 113. When you look at the rest of Nick Ball's career, you know, he has that really close decision win over Raymond Ford, in which I think he did eke that out. Raymond Ford was cutting a lot to make 26, and we know Ford is doing well in the weight class above. He does have that draw with Ray Vargas, and that pretty much is the only blemish on his resume. He's going into this fight attempting to defend his belt for the 4th time, and Figueroa is attempting to become a champion again. Styles make fights. When you think about what Fulton presented to Figueroa, a boxer who's going to use the entire ring, slick, it really made Figueroa look old. It really made a lot of people think that he was done. So this is going to be the thing you have to wrestle with when you're thinking about where you're putting your money. Is Figueroa going to come in motivated? Is he going to come in inspired? What's Manny Robles going to have Figueroa looking like? And at only 29 years old, can he relive that magic that we saw in 2021 against Louis Nery? With Nick Ball, you got to think it's business as usual. You're not going to see anything new with Nick Ball. The style is his style. He's one of these champions that you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to expect. It's, can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the volume? Brandon Figueroa, statistically, when you Google his stats, he averages 70 punches a round. We'll see if he'll be able to keep that pace up with Nick Ball, and it should be a fan-friendly firefight in the pocket. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the challenger, Brandon Figueroa, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Figueroa is 26-2-1. Of his 26 wins, 19 of them are by way of knockout. Of his 2 losses, he's never been stopped. He has 1 draw. Out of 1,751 fighters in the world at 126, he's ranked number 8. He's fought a career total of 186 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 73% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Heartbreaker, and the 29-year-old American is a 5'9" orthodox fighter with a 72.5-inch reach. He was born and raised in Weslaco, Texas, USA. We last saw him fight Joed Gonzalez, 27-4, won a UD in the 12th. Stephen Fulton, 22-1, lost the decision in the 12th. Jesse Magdaleno, 29-2, stopped him in the 9th. Mark Magsayo, 24-1, won a UD in the 12th. Carlos Castro, 27-1, stopped him in the 6th. The fight before that was in 2021, was his first loss to Stephen Fulton. We know he's gone 0-2 versus Stephen Fulton. Guys, Brandon Figueroa at his best is a pressure forward, front foot style puncher, brawler. People talk about him boxing. That style doesn't age well. It's not like he's been knocked out before. His only losses are to the same guy. It's easy for me to just say, hey, styles make fights. This is a bad matchup style for Brandon Figueroa. We can't judge him on that solely. Look at his resume. Look who he has wins over. He has wins over Magsayo, Magdaleno, Nery. He just beat Joed. So one could also say styles make fights, but maybe Figueroa isn't done. Maybe we will see the best version of himself. If he shows up into the UK, the best version of himself, in shape, locked in, switched on with a game plan, I think he's very live in this fight. Before we get to the odds, I do want to take a closer look at the undefeated champion, Nick Ball, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Nick Ball is 23-0-1. Of his 23 wins, 13 of them are by way of knockout. Out of 1,751 fighters in the world at 126, he was ranked number 2. He's fought a career total of 146 pro rounds and carries in the ring a 56% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as The Wrecking, and the 28-year-old Brit is a 5'2" orthodox fighter. He was born and raised and lives in Liverpool, Merseyside, United Kingdom. We last saw him fight Sam Goodman, 20-0, UD in the 12th. TJ Devinhaney, 26-5, stopped him in the 10th. Ronnie Rios, 34-4, stopped him in the 10th. Ray Ford, 15-0, won a split decision in the 12th. Ray Vargas, 36-1, split draw in the 12th. Nick Ball is a guy who is going to melt you. He's going to wilt you. He doesn't have one-punch knockout power, but it's the volume, it's the pressure, it's where he wants the fight to take place that makes him special. It's his speed, it's his athleticism. Now, with that 5'2" frame, you're going to have shortcomings. Shorter reach, smaller hands, not one-punch knockout power. He has to move a lot of wasted energy, not really in an efficient style. So it's going to be interesting when these two clash up in the pocket. Will Figueroa be able to wear Ball down in the early rounds? From a game plan perspective, that's what I would do if I was Brandon. I would start strong with the jab. I would use range. I would test Ball in the pocket early. I would work the body. Ball throws a lot of unorthodox punches, and in his sort of leaping style, he leaves a lot of his body open. Now, with that small frame, you know, not a lot of real estate to land, but that would be my approach. Work Nick Ball to the body, break him down early, and see where he is mid to late rounds, and then maybe go back to range using your jab and distance, maybe then walking him onto a backhand. With Nick Ball, it's going to be business as usual. Pressure style, weaponize your cardio, break Figueroa's mental, break his psyche, remind everybody that who's the champion. Figueroa is the one who's lost before. Nick Ball's the one who doesn't know how to lose. It's going to be interesting. 126 is one of my favorite divisions. I want to see unifications in this division. We just saw Shushu Carrington stake claim to a belt at 126 with his spectacular knockout over Carlos Castro. We know Angela Leo is a belt holder. We know Rafa Espinoza is a belt holder, and Nick Ball is a belt holder. Ray Vargas is somewhere in between. Before we take a look at these Las Vegas odds, I want to remind everybody, if you're new to the channel, I do live streams every day. All week during these live streams, we talk about all the fights, not just the main events, not just the world title fights. And in those live streams, I take your questions. If you guys are JSB insiders, you guys come on my live stream. We talk about our long parlays. We talk about over and unders. We talk about knockout prop bets. I give you guys my underdogs of the week. We've hit 3 weeks in a row starting first week of January with our Jorge Chavez pick. And then 2 weeks ago, we hit with Julian Rodriguez. And last week, we hit with Josh Kelly. To get all of my picks, whether it's boxing, MMA, my basketball parlays, to get access, join on YouTube, join on Patreon. It's a couple bucks a month. Be sure to click that link that's pinned in the comment section below. Currently on the money line, Nick Ball is a $1.31 favorite. 100 on Ball gets you your money back plus $31. Brandon Figueroa is a $3.80 underdog, meaning 100 on Brandon gets you your money back plus 280 bucks. Figueroa is not quite a 3-to-1 dog. Like I said, going into this video, the Figueroas are on my no bet list. I'm going to break my rule because for the sake of the action, what's that lyric or what's that scene in Heat, the great Michael Mann movie? It's all about the juice. So when I'm thinking about where I'm putting my money, some of the boys online call me the swindler. I have a segment on my YouTube shorts, The Swindler Says. We swindle the bookies. Sometimes the bookies get it wrong. Where I'm going with my money, I really haven't been impressed with Nick Ball's style. I don't think he's going to be one of these champions who's going to retire undefeated. I don't think that he has the best gifts in terms of his reach, his size. We know he's only 5'2". He does do the best with what he was born with those, so I have to put my hats off to him. He's a battler, he's a warrior, he's fun to watch, he's all blood and guts. It's hard to cheer against him. But right now where I'm putting my money, where's the hat at? The swindler! I think the bookies have this wrong. I think Manny Robles is going to have Brandon Figueroa reinvigorated. I think at 29 years old, he's not washed. He's never been stopped. He's taller. He has the reach advantage. He has more power. I think he's going to impress a lot of people, and I expect him to become a world champion once again at 126 pounds. I know this pick is going to be quite controversial. You do not have to agree with me. In the comment section below, let me know. Are we going to hear and still for Nick Ball or and new for Brandon Figueroa? Guys, stay tuned to the channel. We got fights in Canada. We got fights in Mexico. I'll catch you in the next one.